Hello, hi, I'm Taylor Hardaway, and I want to do a review of Fiona Apple's Fetch the Bolt Cutters. This is the first review I've done. I've been wanting to do this for a while. I thought this was a good one to start with. I kind of thought Anthony Fantano was one of the only reviewers out there. I'm now realizing there are several, including a guy that jogs while he reviews. But I thought this was a good album. Pitchfork gave it a 10. I don't think that it's quite a 10, especially from a big publication like that. And a lot of big publications gave this a perfect score. I just feel like a perfect score is for it's for albums that are gonna sort of pave the way for a future of a sound of like a decade or a generation. An album like Kid A is like that, and I'm sure Kanye was probably like that for this decade. Dark Side of the Moon, stuff like that, where it's like a way forward for music. And even if all the tracks on this album are really good, really solid tracks, I don't think it's going to be that influential, and I don't think this album is going to resonate with a huge audience either. Part of the reason why I like Fiona Apple so much, and those that like her know that this is like our niche type of music. She'll explore like dark things and complex things that a lot of people just don't want to touch, and she does it very poetically and very intricately. This is, probably one of her best albums. They're all good. I mean, in a way, they're kind of all a 10. Maybe not the third one. And the last one was like almost. I thought Jonathan was like a pretty skippable song. But this also is not, it's not like an entire statement. You can kind of come up with one after the fact, but I think Kid A exists from beginning to end as like a full statement. Dark Side of the Moon is the same way on that too, and even like Bon Iver's first album, it's like one big cohesive thing. This album is not cohesive in that way, that I think that you would really give a 10 to. And that also begs the question, what do these numbers mean anyways? You have so many reviewers. Is it a personal 10? Is it a cultural 10? Is it really an objective 10? Maybe not. From a subjective stance, I don't think it's either, really. I'm a huge Fiona Apple fan. Since I was 16 years old, I've listened to her. Her first album came out when I was 12, and then when I was 16, I kind of flipped through a CD warehouse, and then I bought that CD, and then I recorded it to a tape, and I would walk around listening to that, and I kept thinking wow, this girl is only 18 years old when she made this. This is just incredible. So that album, I don't think it was influential, but it is definitely, you could say it's a 10 just based on how impressive those piano parts are, and how mature and intricate the songwriting is. This one, like I'm sure you've heard, if you've made it to this video, I'm sure you've watched 10 of these. It's very percussive. It's more non-linear in how it's constructed. Raw. She made it at least mostly at her house, and I think it's her most energetic album. And some of those more energetic songs are not really the ones more casual fans go for. They go for more on the first album, her more ballads. Whereas on her second album and her third album, she had some very energetic songs. So I think one good thing maybe is that she's getting such high praise for this, maybe a little bit too much, is it she might be put into the spotlight more than she has since her first album, which I'm not going to complain about that. It seems like if every publication is giving us a perfect score, certainly this must be a Grammy contender. It seems like it would have to be if they even do the Grammys this year. It's looking like they might do some sort of stay-at-home Grammys. I'm not really sure. I don't think I'm going to do a track-by-track breakdown because, like I said, if you've made it to this video, I think you've been through all of that. There's another guy I saw that he just listens to the whole thing and does it each by track. There's about 3 tracks, I think, that aren't really bad. The title track, it's just kind of like a down, like kind of downtime for the album. And a couple of others. That's kind of what I think is holding it back from being like my favorite Fiona album. It might be my second favorite. It's like maybe in contender for second favorite over the last one. I do like the home recording style. I think that works really good for her. Those of us that were paying attention for the third album when the like demo version or the kind of scratch sort of version leaked, and then we got the John Brion version later, we were like, oh no, I kind of like the raw version better. And we were like, is John Brion really the right producer for her? I'm sure they have like a great relationship and that's why they work together so much. But I would really like to hear the second album re-recorded, if there's some way to do that. Maybe like do a whole live recording or something without John Brion's influence on it. It just doesn't seem like her. It just doesn't seem like the right fit for her. And this sort of thing really works. And whoever she used for the last album, that really worked. As far as a score, so many numbers, there's so many perfect scores and so many numbers. I think the way I want to start doing these reviews is kind of like, what is the album's shelf life? And I've already told you I'm a huge Fiona fan. That's why I'm starting with this review. This has an infinite shelf life. I've listened to it like 25 times. I will surely listen to it 100 times. I'll listen to it through the end of the year. And honestly, I guarantee you, I'll be listening to this album just like every other Fiona album for the rest of my life. If you're a Fiona fan, you should like it. Anyways, that's my review. I hope this video made it to you. If you like this review, tell me something else that you think you'd like me to hear. Thanks.